Welcome back to another episode of Let's Stay In.
I'm Anna, and this is Mark.
Now, before we get into today's episode, we got to give you that annoying reminder. Make sure you like, subscribe, download, comment. If there's a button, make sure you click it. Somehow, I think that helps us out.
With that being said, let's just jump right in. Anyways.
This dynamic, I'm living for it.
Yeah.
We are brother and sister.
Yeah.
It's
Literally.
so bad, I know.
Wait, Anna, who do you think would be the older brother or sister out of the two of us?
I'm older.
No, what?
Like, I think I'm the older sister.
Yes.
Okay.
Because you're bossy, but the way, I don't know. What do you think?
I would say the same.
Why you got to look
Based
at me
on
like that?
one day of hanging out with you guys.
I'm wiser than you are for sure.
You're just like the annoying little brother.
Wow.
That's what I got from
Wow.
Wait,
today.
Wow.
Within 15 minutes, she was in the back seat while we were bickering up front. And then when we got to the lunch place, she was saying to our friends that it was like mom and dad fighting.
You're just sitting at the table and your friends' parents are fighting. You're just like,
You just don't know.
Well, welcome, Emma, to the
Mark
podcast.
was angry.
I wasn't. I get hangry for sure, and it was just like it was a day. It was a day.
It's okay.
I'm
It's
at
okay,
yoga.
Mark.
It's nice and peaceful. You got this dude moaning. It was just a lot to. Yeah, this dude was just. It was intense. It was like, brother, I need you to relax.
A moan messed your day up.
Well, it was that, and then there was a very rude woman at the grocery store who cut off two people, and then she was, and then I had two people in the car that were waiting for me to get back into the car, and I said I was going to take 30 seconds. I'm at the register in 30 seconds, but then this lady in front of me is taking forever, and it was a real predicament.
So you had a really, really tough day, is what you're saying.
there's a snowball effect for sure.
God, so winner of the worst day award.
There's at least 3 people that are listening to this right now who are like, this guy can quit bitching.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take that advice and I'm gonna quit bitching. So Emma, welcome to the podcast. How we doing?
Doing so good. Thanks for having me. So excited to be here.
You literally just landed this morning.
I did. I woke up at about 4:30.
Gross.
So a little sleepy, but excited to be here.
And she came from Chicago,
Yes, it's very chilly there.
a place I want to move to that I've never been to.
You have to come. It's
I'm
lovely.
coming for St. Patty's Day. We're
St.
locked in.
Patty's.
We're good. I'll buy my ticket. I will send you the confirmation.
If you don't want to move after St. Patty's, then I mean,
No. We're working
Horrible
backwards
taste.
here. We're trying to get you out to LA. I'm trying to get Anna back to LA. We're not moving to Chicago, people.
I want to be like bi-coastal. I know it's not on the coast, but like bi-state.
a lot of people, even
Bi-stational.
people from Chicago, say that too. It's great for like the 6 months out of the year, and then the other 6 are a little,
Dismal.
yeah. It's like you travel when it's like super cold outside though, and like it's fine. You have the holidays at the end of the year, so I don't think it's
cozy.
that bad. Yeah.
Fair.
Sweet.
So, all right, Emma. So let's say you're at LAX. Someone comes up to you. They're like, "Who are you? What's your story? Give us like your 30-second elevator pitch. Who are you?"
Ooh. Well, I'm Emma Rodriguez. Also, Mark, confession for you.
Yeah.
My middle name is not Lou.
The fuck?
He's been calling me Emma Lou Rodriguez.
Oh, Emma Lou's such a cute name.
It's a
Just keep
nickname
it.
that I coined. That it's not actually. My
You just
middle
gave
name.
yourself that nickname?
I
That's your
did.
Instagram name.
I coined it,
Why didn't you
yeah.
correct me the first 50 times that I've called you that?
I don't know. I guess
she likes the name enough to.
I do.
What's your actual middle name?
Loren?
That's kind of sick.
Yeah, Emma Loren.
Ooh, you sound exotic.
Yeah,
a lot.
sounds exotic as fuck.
But Emma Lou sounds like.
How do you
Emma
spell
Lou.
it?
Just like cute.
Like, is that Loren?
No, it's spelled like Lauren, but it's pronounced Loren.
My name's pronounced Barack.
I think you're going to transition later on in life. Like, I think you're going to end up being Loren when you hit like 40.
The problem is like I would love to do Emma Loren, but people see Emma Loren and they say Emma Lauren,
Yeah, that's fair.
and that doesn't sound as good.
So where Lou come from?
Like one of my mom's like really good friends called me Emma Lou at a very young age, and then in college I started calling myself that, I think, or I changed my Instagram name to Emma Lou, and I was like, oh, it's like cute.
Yeah.
And yeah, since then I've always been Emma Lou. I think everybody knows me as Emma Lou, but that's not my real name.
I
Fair.
didn't know you could just do that. My middle name is Finca.
Oh,
Why'd you snort?
Because it's just like.
Wait, can you say your full name? It always just.
All girls have a middle name of like Elizabeth
right.
or something.
Marie.
Or
Yeah, but your
Lauren
name is
or
super German. Can you just say it real quick?
Anna Katharina Finca von Stela.
No, say it real fast, like you
Anna
know. But
Katharina Finca von Stela.
Sounds German for
say
sure.
that 3 times
Yeah.
fast.
I can do it. But yeah, I can call myself something else.
What would you go with?
Well, it has to start with an F, yeah? Like on a foo, on a fee, on a f, on a.
Like I always think about the people like when you go into like
I was trying to do like a on the loose, on a.
Like if you go into like WWE and you have to have like a stage name, right? Like what would you go by?
Big Mama. No, easy. Big Mama.
Big Mama?
Yeah, that is like we all have like a voice in our head or like what you call your. I'm Big Mama. Everything I do is Big Mama. Big Mama's hungry.
That just reminds me of the Martin Lawrence movie, Big Mama's House.
Oh yeah, classic. Yeah. What would you go by?
Maybe Emmyloo's too cute for.
Yeah, WWE. You need something more badass.
I have no idea.
Think about it. I don't know what I would go by either because
The Lou Factor or like Luge. No. Sorry.
Moulin Rouge.
Ooh, I like that.
That kind of works. No?
I don't know.
Hot Rod because of Rodriguez.
Thank you.
Ooh.
That's good.
Nice.
Yeah, Hot Rod.
Hot Rod Rodriguez. Say
Hot
that
Rod Rodriguez.
Say that 3 times
You
fast.
should just be Mark.
Mark.
Just Mark.
Just Mark.
Just Alan.
Or Mark with a C.
Mark with a C. You know how many people think they're fucking hilarious when they send me the Starbucks? There's that Starbucks meme, and it's like Mark with a C, Kark. And the amount of people who think that's the first time I've seen it, and they send it to me, and I've easily been sent that 4,000 times in my life, and everybody thinks they're the first person to share it with me every time.
Is
Do you
it
give
short
it to
for
them?
Marcus or no?
DeMarcus.
DeMarcus.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
No.
Okay.
No.
Not-
I
Fun
was,
joke.
I was a little. I didn't believe you.
Good
Yeah,
one.
no. Honestly, it makes no sense. My grandparents are Armenian, and they named my uncle Mark. Which, when they came to Armenia, like I don't really get why they just didn't go with an Armenian name, but they went with Chris for my mom. So I guess they were really just embracing America. And then my mom just named me after my uncle because we were born on the same day.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Do you give people the like gratification, the satisfaction of like laughing when they send you that meme, or do you just tell them?
Yeah. I don't rain on their parade. I'm
That's
like, that's great. Yeah.
My boyfriend's name is Forrest, and he was named it before Forrest Gump came out.
Okay, I was wondering.
Every single time someone meets him, they're like, "Have you seen Forrest Gump?" And his like shtick is he pretends that he's never heard of the movie. And
good.
watching strangers try to explain to him they're like, Tom Hanks, and he's like, who? And they're like, okay, well, Tom Hanks, and he meets this guy on a boat, and it's like watching them go through the storyline. Incredible, comedic gold.
I love that for him.
Yes, it's so good.
Such a good move.
That's good. That's
Anyways,
All right, so we're going to jump right into this. And you just get right off the plane, and you're running on like barely any sleep, and we throw you right onto the podcast. So how do you feel? You ready for this?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm ready to
she
go.
doesn't know if she is or
I'm
not.
here, so here we go.
Well,
Yeah, you got good prompts today.
we actually decided we're going to switch this up. We're going to get into religion and politics today. Very light subjects, very easy to talk about, no controversy whatsoever. Actually, let's start off. Donald Trump, what are your thoughts? No, I'm just kidding.
Who should vote for? Do you have wine, Mark?
Lots of
All right, no, here's actually what we're going to be getting into. We're going to go with our gold, silver, and metal. Wait.
Actually, I kind of want a wine.
Yeah? Do you want
Do you want a
one?
glass of
I
wine?
think a wine would be good for me.
Yeah?
Fuck yeah, sister.
Do you want harder shit? You want tequila?
I don't know. I need a little something.
You want meth?
Accidental meth.
Yeah, accidental meth. All right, so we're back with the wine, and as you guys couldn't hear this because Anna wasn't talking to the mic. She asked if I knew where her shirt was from, or I asked if I could guess. I don't know what she said. She just showed me her shirt, and
What I said was, do you like my shirt? Because I want a compliment. And he said, let me guess where that's from.
Abercrombie and Fitch.
Absolutely.
They've completely changed up their game.
No, Abercrombie and Fitch is sick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's also the most like I like a lot of the stuff when you walk in now, but it's so random. Like it is like again, what does Stella Artois have anything to do with Abercrombie and Fitch?
This hat's also Abercrombie.
What's
Really?
that say?
Something about being fast. I don't know. I just thought it was cute.
Play fast.
Play fast, be fast.
Interesting.
I like to go fast. I don't know. But the whole point is like they're really good for trendy items
Yeah.
that are higher quality,
Yes.
mid-priced. They're
Yeah.
a good shopping option.
Yeah, I buy a lot of stuff from there. We have one close by.
Yeah.
Super cute.
I bought a Detroit Lions shirt from there.
Yeah, they have
yeah.
sports stuff.
Yeah.
Really good NFL stuff.
Yeah. So
Do you want to jump into the prompts?
yeah, we'll jump right back into this. We got our glass of wine. We're God, I love wine. Anywho.
Yeah, nice room temp counter wine.
I do like a room temp red.
Yeah,
It's supposed to be room temp.
it's supposed to be.
I like a chilled red.
Really?
Yeah, but I'm also just tacky. You saw me put Brita water in my wine.
Well, to each their own.
Thank you.
Yeah.
At least you used Brita water. Could have used tap.
I really not with the fires. You do not be using anything with the tap right now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So our prompts today, we are doing. I really liked the ones that you chose. I know I already said that, but we're going to be covering the things that make you question someone's character, and then best ways to get over a breakup.
Yeah, the gold, silver, and bronze.
Mm-hmm. I'm liking that format.
Yeah.
I think it's fun.
Yeah, we gotta come up with a way. Here's the thing about podcasting that no one really talks about when you do this is we got to figure out a way to like ease into it in a supernatural feels the flow. We're brand new with this new segment, so we're trying to workshop this. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's a live workshop, but the gold, silver, and bronze segment. Yeah, we got to workshop that.
It doesn't roll off the tongue.
No, we got to workshop it. So if anybody has any
suggestions.
Podium prompts was not terrible.
That's so catchy.
Yeah, that's too.
Podium prompts. Like, that's dumb.
All right, when I said it out loud, yeah, you're right.
I wouldn't listen to a podcast that had podium prompts.
Okay.
What
was the other one that I said? There was another one that was not bad.
I don't know. I just like you said take 5 or
starting 5 was if we had 5 answers. What was another one? Some of these are just so corny. The medal ceremony.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's terrible. The triple threat.
We could call it the Life Olympics.
Ooh, Life Olympics isn't bad.
Oh really? I was laughing. Oh, okay, cool.
Oh yeah, Life Olympics.
Or like Advice Olympics.
Do you think I'm sick?
Not gonna. I don't actually. What
Advice Olympics?
That's not bad.
Advice.
I wish
Olympics.
something was with an O.
We got to just keep workshopping this. We got to keep workshopping this. The whole point of it is that we ask you a question, you give your top 3 answers: gold medal answer, your silver medal answer, your bronze medal answer. So we got to figure that out. We're workshopping it, and I'm talking to ChatGPT, trying to figure it out.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
So
like your non-negotiables.
Yeah. So let's start it off. Anna, you want to lead with the first question?
Oh yeah. Let's do. Do we want to do the things that make you question someone's character first?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sure. Okay. So my first one is when someone doesn't have anything nice to say about anyone. They have a problem with every single person that they meet. I don't trust a person that meets people with and like leads with so much judgment and pessimism, because I feel like they're meeting people through the lens of projection versus what's right in front of them. And I feel like that type of person almost considers people's good qualities as a threat to them, or like it chips away at their own. And I don't like people that see other people as competition. And I feel like those personality types go hand in hand.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of pessimistic to like that type of person is pessimistic, like seeing the negative in everybody. Like nobody's perfect, I guess.
Absolutely.
So.
And I also feel like when you're looking at someone with so much judgment, what's your motive?
Yeah.
Like, what are you getting out of not liking everybody?
I think it just stems from insecurity.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
Well, so here's my question for you guys, because I actually wrote this down because I assumed that was going to be answer 1A. Okay, that's what I. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, really. Yeah, because I think it's you learn a lot about how somebody talks about people who aren't in the room, right? And so I kind of had a similar first answer. Mine was like how they talk about their friends that aren't in the room, or like if you're with a group of people and then one person leaves and then what they start saying about that person right after they left. That's always been kind of like, that was, I guess, like my gold medal answer, very similar to yours. But okay, so here's my question with you guys. I think there's a lot of times that people, when they meet somebody new for the first time, the way that they go into it sometimes can be almost too optimistic, and then also can be way too pessimistic, right? How do you find balance between the two? And then do you also go into it when it's different, when you're dealing with a guy that you're meeting versus a woman that you're meeting?
Like if I'm meeting somebody for the first time, would I go more optimistic or pessimistic?
Like if you're going on a date, right? Do you go into it automatically being like, okay, this guy has to impress me. I'm not going in assuming that you're automatically this great guy and everything like that. You got to impress me from moment one, or are you going in being like, this could be my husband?
I think I try to go in with like no expectations, like show me who you are. And like sometimes like I'll go on dates with people, or I'll meet people who I have heard from other people, their opinions about them. And I try to just block them out because I would rather make my own opinion about you. Like I'm still aware of the things that my friends have told me or whatever, but I think I like to make my own judgments about people rather than, you know, like maybe they had a bad day or I don't know, but I kind of like to figure it out myself, I guess.
That's super mature and healthy. I am the worst judge of character ever. Like I admit, like I cannot read people. I can read men well. I cannot read women. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of that stems from I don't, as a whole, respect men. I don't really expect much from them. Mm-hmm. But with women, I expect everything. Mm-hmm. And I show up wanting to meet every woman and be their friend.
Yeah.
So when that is not reciprocated, it is very jarring to me. And I always feel, and I don't know what this is, but I loop us all together into one side. Like we should all be team female. Like we should all have each other's backs. Mm-hmm. So when a woman greets or shows something deceptive about herself or malicious about herself, I'm like, I don't know how to register this. This is so unfamiliar to me. Mm-hmm. And this is one of the dumbest. I'm going to sound very stupid. So I watch a lot of true crime, and I'll watch interrogations where the people will lie, and I instantly believe them. The criminals will say I didn't murder them, and I'm like, I knew it. He's innocent. It's crazy, and it's like, and then the next moment they're like, well, we have it on footage. We have footage of you killing this person. They're like, okay, yes, I did, and I'm like, what? What do you mean? I was like, you just said you didn't, and it's like I am such a simple human being, and like you tell the truth. You tell the truth, and there's some people that just don't.
Yeah.
And when women tell lies, it's not expected. It is so expected from men.
Sure.
When it comes to, my experience.
I feel like though men make it so obvious when they're telling a lie.
Women are so good at lying.
They're bad at it. They're like, very bad at it.
Yeah.
And then you'll be like, did you cheat? And he's like,
I don't know.
Believe if you want to.
Yeah.
Like, what do you consider cheating?
Baby, you're my everything.
Yeah.
You don't understand. It slipped in. She
was so hot.
I was drunk.
Yeah. It was aimed completely another direction.
Oh my God. Yeah. Stupid. Men show the signs more.
Yeah.
But so that goes directly into my silver. So we have to.
Well, wait. I don't know if Emma. Did you give?
No, I'm saying we have to cover hers because that was going right into my silver.
Okay. All right.
My gold was actions and words don't align. And I think that that's true of not just men, but also women. You say you're going to do something, you don't do it. Or even like if you're flaky, like if you say you're going to go, like I feel like I encounter this so much where like my friends will be like, yes, I'm coming. Yes, I'm coming. Yes, I'm coming to like something. And then the last minute, like they flake out. And like, I feel like they knew that they weren't going to come to begin with. They just like didn't want to say that they didn't want to come. I don't know. I hate people that flake. I've had that, like, I'm like the host of like my group, and like I've had Friendsgivings where like people didn't show up and they were supposed to bring like mashed potatoes and stuff like that. And I'm like, that's a core dish. Like you can't just not show up.
Can't forget the potatoes.
That is the anchor of the whole meal.
Right. So I think people that are flaky and like if your like actions and words don't like align.
Okay, so I'm gonna play devil's advocate because, or not, maybe the opposite of that. Because I have heard so many people say that, and my boyfriend is a big, like, if he says he's going to go to something, he could quite literally be on his deathbed and he will still show up, and then they'll send him home. But like, he has to show up if he says that he is going to.
Yeah.
I am not like that. And my best friend and I have discussed this in length, and we have tried to change this about ourselves because I am true to my word when it comes to my values, my word and like how I show up as a friend.
Yeah.
But another way to look at it is sometimes people will meet you in a day when they're feeling great and they'll say that they can do it. And then maybe next Tuesday, they woke up and their anxiety is really high. They are all of a sudden, they don't feel like they'll be liked in that group. Like the social anxiety creeps in. They lost their job. They lost a deal. They're, they're having an issue with their whatever. And I am incredibly understanding when people flake because I know sometimes I can't show up because I don't allow myself to show up any less than like my best self.
Yeah.
I can't just show up half-assed.
Yeah.
So like when I flake, it's almost like I'm trying to preserve a good thing.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I have realized that people really just want to see you there. And it's kind of like those videos when you see little kids performing at a talent show and when they see that their parent is in the audience, the way they light up.
Yeah.
It's like they just had to sit there. They just had to be in the room. It meant everything.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to practice that because I don't want it to come off like a quality.
Yeah.
Or a bad characteristic, when really it's just about.
Yeah. And like that's totally understandable. I just like would love like for you. I know sometimes maybe it's like hard to like open up about something that you're going through, but just like, then just say that, like, just say like, hey, like I had a shitty day, whatever it is, like that's totally fine. But like, if you just say like, I don't know, like I'm not coming, don't give like a valid reason. I guess I'm just the type of person that I'm like, yeah, I guess flakiness it happens a lot for me, and it's just frustrating. Like, especially like if I host a party and like people don't show up or whatever it is, like, I don't know.
Understandable, because it's disrespect to your time. You put a lot of time and effort for that.
Yeah, and yes, like I was excited to see you. Like I was really excited to see you or whatever, and whatever. It's not a big deal. I know shit happens, but yeah.
No, I will say though, I feel like there's a flake policy. If you flake and you flaked and you know that you told people you were coming and then you don't come to something, I feel like you then, like one of my biggest pet peeves is when somebody flakes on something that you had plans with and then they don't make like plans from there, right? They're not like, hey, I'm so sorry today, something screwed up. I'm not going to be able to make it, but are you free on Tuesday?
Yeah.
If you don't do that, if you're just literally like, oh, hey, I can't make it today, and there's no action to make new plans, then I'm like, did you even want to do this today? And is everything you're even saying even remotely true? So I guess like going back to what you were saying, Anna, if someone's like, hey, I have a lot of anxiety today, I'm sorry, like I really just can't do this, but give me a few days. Are you free on Monday? I just feel like that's the way to do it. And then you do have to hold yourself to a standard of like, okay, I did flake on, such and such day. Now I need to make sure I make up to them moving forward. Cause yeah, I mean, again, just as like you're going through something that day and maybe there's a reason why you needed to flake, that person also still got flaked on and now they're going through something, right? So you got to think about the kind of spiral effect of that.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
Okay, should we go to our silvers?
Yeah, but there was something I was going to say. And I'm forgetting it. I think it was off of something that you were saying. Oh, here's this. But so Emma, you were saying that the whole like words and actions not aligning, right? So that's actually my silver medal answer too. My thing is with words and actions is that words are so beyond pointless, and we just have to accept that. There's been so many times I've known people that have gotten cheated on or whatever, or they've had their partner lie to them or whatever, and I always say to them, I'm like, dude, I can word for word write the excuse that you're in the text message that you're going to receive from that person who lied to you, and it's going to go something like this. Hey, babe, I really apologize. I've really taken a hard look at my actions. I've reflected over the last few days. I could not be more disappointed in the way that I treated you, and you obviously deserve so much better than that, and I promise if you give me one more chance, I will never make that mistake again. You're the brightest light in my life. You're the best thing that's ever happened to me, and I promise I will never put you in this sort of position again. It's wrong of me. I know you have every reason not to take me back, but please, if you just take me back, I promise I will never do this to you again. I love you more than I could ever express. Please just give me another chance.
Yeah.
Did you just hack our phones?
I mean, like,
I never received that text.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, and then
the fake accountability.
Yeah.
And then they go and do it again, like, a month later.
Oh, I think he's changed. Oh, he changed from Tuesday, Sandra? Come on.
They might change for like a week.
If you can change that fast, it's not true change.
Right.
And that's what like you don't learn until later is like, if you get back together with someone, it's not that they like realize what they're missing. They're just telling what you want to hear.
Of course.
Well, and I had, so 2 Valentine's Day ago, right? I had just gone through a breakup and I was like, I cannot be on social media. I don't want to see a bunch of people posting happy Valentine's Day shit. Like, I just didn't want to see it. So I put on Twitter, hey, I'm raising money to go buy homeless people meals and like, basic necessities and things like that. Raised like $2,500 in like 24 hours, and then put on Twitter like, hey, if anybody doesn't have Valentine's Day plans and you want to help me, it's I didn't realize how much work that was going to be. And so 2 guys came out to help me, and one of the guys, he was out with me until probably midnight, going to homeless encampments and giving out food and basic necessities and things like that. And so I said to him at the end of the night, I was like, Valentine's Day, we've never met before. Why did you decide to come help me? And he was like, I'm going to be honest, like, I screwed up. And I was like, really? Like, what happened? He's like, I was with this girl. She was amazing. And like, I fucked it up. And like, she won't take me back. She won't give me another chance. And like, I'm just hurting. And like, and he's like,
snooze, you lose. I don't know.
No, but I loved the accountability.
Yeah.
True.
But this is what I'm saying. I was like, like, how quickly did you realize he screwed up? And he's like, I mean, honestly, he's like, I thought there'd be kind of a period where she would take me back, right? And then he's like, and then when she didn't, that was when I realized. Like, that was the moment when I really realized. And And I said to him, I was like, dude, honestly, I feel like your life moving forward is going to be better having gone through this, right?
Absolutely.
Because you know that there's a consequence now to your action, right? And so I do think that's one of those things of like, can people change? Sure. If they lose something,
it.
you got to lose something. He lost her, right? And now I hope that guy, honestly, I got good vibes. I think my boy's going to be, I think he's going to be a great guy moving forward. I got faith. But in order to do that, you got to lose something. And so all it does is say to somebody, if you take them back, well, then, yeah, my actions will be forgiven over time, right? But when you actually don't take them back, that person eventually will go, shit, there's consequences to my actions. They learned an adult lesson.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Should we do our silvers?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay, so this is actually my bronze, so I'll just pretend it's my silver because it goes exactly into something you were saying. It easily and readily fabricates a lie. Like, even if it's something trivial, if they can volunteer a lie up, an excuse, without really second guessing it, and there's just no guilt, then I don't think that you have a very good character. I feel like we all offer white lies sometimes, but the immediate guilt that I have, and then I'm like, oh my God, like I'm gonna get caught in that. Like my body will self-punish.
Yeah.
Basically. And I know
get
that's
terrible
just
anxiety.
remorse. Yeah. Just normal person remorse. But if you find yourself being able to just like on the tip of your tongue tell a lie, then you are capable of a lot of deception on a bigger scale.
Yeah.
And it's time to reevaluate.
Yeah. If you can just come up with a lie and like quickly,
that.
like don't even have to think about it. There's something going on there.
1,000%.
Nothing I want to deal with.
No, I don't want to deal with it.
No.
Yeah.
There's so many people who lie about the dumbest shit too. And it's like, just why lie about that? Like,
You're going to get caught.
Exactly.
It's gonna
And
be
then
really
it's
awkward.
worse. Had you just said it in the first place,
I probably wouldn't have cared.
or maybe I would have cared, but we would have gotten through it. And honestly, it would have been better. You would have gotten like added brownie points by telling me the truth, rather than like me finding out about your lie later is going to dock you like way more points.
Just
you know what I mean?
magnified it all.
Yeah, like you made it worse by lying.
I agree.
Yeah. What's your silver medal answer?
Being rude to like waiters or like just being rude to people in general. Like I feel like if someone's like rude to a waiter, like any kind of staff or anything like that, people at a store, you just think like you're better than them. And I don't like people that think that they're better than anybody. Like
Same.
Nobody's better than anybody. And I've encountered people that are that way, and it just makes me uncomfortable. Like I'm just like even if I send food back, because like I will sometimes do that if I'm spending a lot of money on food and I don't like it, but I will always like be kind about it. Like, hey, I'm so sorry. Like totally not your fault, but can I get something else? Like people that like will send stuff back and be like, ew, this is gross or whatever. Like, what did you do? Like, I don't know. Like it just makes me so uncomfortable, and I just feel like that doesn't make you a very good person.
Totally agree. If you think that you're above somebody else, you automatically suck.
Yeah.
You automatically suck.
Yeah,
That's
it. I think one of the things too is that you can almost take it and kind of go the opposite way too, of like, how do I know someone has great character? If you're overly nice to people who can really do not much for you.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like if you're nice to the random coffee barista, the random employee at United Airlines, like you know what I mean? It's like the people that their days is like you have a very basic, transaction with them, but you still go above and beyond to kind of make their day a little bit better. I feel like those are the type of people where I see that and I'm like, you're a good one, because that person is just, they're dealing with 1,000 people that day, but they're going to remember you because you were just a nice person and you made their day a little bit better. And that day for a lot of customer service workers is very like monotonous and kind of, I would assume like very repetitive. And so when you do something to kind of spice that day up for them, make it a little bit better, I always, shout out to those people.
Well, it
point of
costs
living.
nothing to be nice. Like it really costs nothing to just, I don't know, be kind.
I agree completely. What's your silver?
Well, my silver was actually your
gold.
Yeah, it was the how they talk about people that aren't in the room. That's like or no. The words don't mean a ton. One. So yeah, but I can go with my bronze is and I think this is because I was trying to think outside the box, right? Look, we're trying to get real intricate here. So
Yeah, do it.
I think it's how quickly they introduce you to people that know them really well. So like, if you meet somebody for the first time, let's say you're going on a date with a guy, whatever, you go on that first date, second date, whatever. Obviously, at the beginning, you got to get to know each other one-on-one. But, like, how quickly do they introduce you to their, like, core people, right? Mm-hmm. Because if somebody meets Anna pretty quickly, like, Anna knows me better than damn near anybody, right? And so, like, that's a huge testament that I'm introducing you to somebody that knows everything. They're, knows the good, the bad, the ugly, everything in between, right? Mm-hmm. And I think if they're afraid to do that, then there might be some reasons. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's so true.
Yeah.
That is so true.
Yeah.
Now, I also don't think, like, I do think sometimes it can be a cop-out if guys are like, oh, do you want to go, like, hang out with me and my buddies at the bar? Like, I'm not really necessarily talking about that. I am talking about, like, more like an intimate conversation with somebody who's close to you. Again, like, Anna and I going to dinner with, like, a girl that I've, like, I'm talking to or whatever, like, that would be what I'm talking about. Not like, hey, here's me and, like, 6 friends going to the bar. Not really necessarily that situation.
No, I get that. Introducing to the best friends.
Yeah.
It's important.
Yeah.
Should I go?
Yeah.
Arrogance. Arrogance is huge. And I wrote down arrogance equals lack of responsibility and an inflated sense of self-importance, because they will never hear you. They'll never take responsibility for anything that they do. And I just think arrogant humans live on another planet, and I don't want to be on it.
Very fair.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
I would say, too, I think off of that, when people overly flex the random ass like accomplishments they have in life. You know what I mean?
Too
Like
much.
It's like you get the guys every once in a while that will talk about like high school sports like it was like 2 weeks
glory
ago.
days.
I feel bad a little bit for those.
Yeah. I'm like, brother, you sucked ass at football, let's be honest. You weren't good at track. Basketball, you were never going to the league. Baseball, you didn't have it. Soccer, stop it. You know what I mean? I'm just
I
like
think you should show a little pity, a little remorse, not like judgment, because I feel like people that really... I dated the guy that was like the guy in Napoleon Dynamite, where he's like, I could throw a pigskin over those mountains. Uncle Rico. I dated like the definition of Uncle Rico, where it was like, you check tape, like state championships. Like if I had only done this, And I look back on it now, and in the time I was like, this arrogant like loser. Now that I've grown up, I look at it, I'm like, okay, nothing monumental or special, like nothing has made them feel special in the 10 plus years since that event happened.
Yeah.
How sad that they have to resort back to that, because we judge it where it's like you get a win every week, small, medium, large, like you get some sort of win. Your life is so cool. You've also set it up that way. A lot of people don't have that, and they have to think about the glory days, and it's really, really sad. And it's genuinely, I think it comes from a place of insecurity. Like you just peaked in high school and you don't really think anything you've done is of note ever since. Yeah. So I just feel sad for that person versus I think it's like a bad character thing.
Okay, fair.
But I think like arrogance more in the way of like they will always paint themselves to be in the right. Everyone else is wrong. They're better than you. Like you should live life like them. I mean, obviously that's like synonymous with narcissism, but I think specifically arrogance is
Can I revise my statement then? So
nope.
You
suck.
I'll say not when people are talking about like high school accomplishments, but like if, for example, let's just say you had something great happen with work, right? And then somebody like follows that up with, oh my God, and I just had this happen with work too. They almost have to one up you. Yeah. Okay, that would be when they feel the need to like
can't be happy for other people or something.
Yes. And even if you did have that other accomplishment that's great, like maybe take a minute before you bring that up. Like let them enjoy their moment.
Yeah, I think that's like an aspect of arrogance for sure.
Yeah, okay.
That makes sense.
All right, fair.
Thank God you clarified. Everyone thought you were a dick.
You were just trashing sports in high school, weren't you, Mark?
Just kidding.
All right, Emma, what's your bronze medal?
My bronze was people who are constantly negative. Not just about like people, but just about everything. Like nothing's good enough. Everything kind of sucks. And I know a few people. I like used to see a guy who the reason that I didn't want to see him anymore is because it's just like everything out of his mouth was just negative. And I can't even give like an example of that was like a long time ago, but it's just like, oh, what happened at work today? If I'm talking to this one person and, oh, well, I had this customer who was like, blah, 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 or they're just, nothing's ever good. Nothing is ever good. And like the food that they eat is never good. Or like, they watch a movie and it's never good. You know what I mean? Like nothing is just ever good for them. Everything is just blah.
A Debbie Downer.
Yeah.
A Debbie Downer. I hate that.
I just feel like you have to be pretty unhappy with your life to just be constantly negative and just not have anything good to say about anybody or anything.
Victim mentality.
Yeah.
I also think there's like a time and a place to be negative, and sometimes you got to suck it up and like tell a little bit of a white lie. Meaning, like, let's say, for example, one of your friends recommends a restaurant to you, right? And you weren't a fan of it. And they ask you afterwards, what'd you think? Just suck it up and say for the moment, oh my God, dude, I loved it.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know what? They're going to feel so much better than you saying, I'm going to be honest, I hated it. And then they're like, shit, my bad. Like, I didn't mean to, you know what I mean?
Damn.
Like, there's certain times where I'm like, it's just worth it to, like, kind of bite the bullet on that one. And I'm not saying get into a habit of that, but, like, you know, sometimes it's better to be a little bit more optimistic. And maybe, you know what? If they love that place that much, maybe you give it a second try. Maybe you just had a bad meal that day. Maybe give it a second try. You know what I mean?
Or you can practice finding something that you did like. So if you hated the food, for example, you could be like, thank you so much for the recommendation. The atmosphere was amazing. I love the music.
Yeah.
Like, find something that you did
Change
like.
your perspective. That's definitely like something that I have had to like kind of work through is like a lot of stuff has happened to me in the past year, right? But like if you just change your perspective on something, like changing it, like, oh yeah, maybe the food wasn't great, but the atmosphere was cool or whatever. Just kind of shift your perspective, like to just be locked, because like you can spiral in that negative mindset. Like if everything sucks, like it's really easy to get stuck in that negative spiral and just never be able to get out of it, and you don't even realize you're in it until I don't even know what someone brings it up or something. But you really have to like make an effort to find the good in even like the crappiest of situations, you know?
1,000. You can actually have fun doing anything regardless of what anyone says. I got deposed. Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
You get questioned by the law.
Oh.
A company I worked for was getting sued, and I was like one of the people named, even though I don't work directly. I'm an independent contractor. I had to get deposed.
Anna killed somebody.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, don't lie. Yet I'm murdering.
True crime.
But, yeah, seriously. No, so I got deposed. I had a fucking blast. My lawyer had a great sense of humor. I got all of the attention.
There you go.
I felt like Elle Woods.
There you
I
go.
was like the star of a TV show for like 3 hours. What else was I going to do?
Yeah.
You know, whatever.
Yeah,
Wait, did you walk into getting deposed like in like a full like suit and everything like that?
So the lawyer was cracking up. I walked in with a cream pantsuit.
As you should.
With a cardigan tied around my I had my makeup done. I had fake eyelashes on. I was like, isn't this on camera? And they're like, no cameras are rolling. No cameras are rolling.
She definitely did it.
Yeah, I know 100%. I came in there with so much enthusiasm. I loved my lawyer. He's great. My first time meeting him, we had so much fun.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it was fun answering the questions. I don't know. I had a great time.
Yeah. And like anybody else could probably have the same experience as you and would have said, oh my God, that was like the worst thing that's ever happened to me.
The lawyer profusely apologized when we were done. He was like, I'm so sorry that took so long. Like 3 hours. I'm unbelievably sorry. Hopefully this is done. I'm like, I had a great time. What are you talking about?
Yeah. It's amazing.
I was the star of the show.
Yeah.
Did you use any legal jargon?
Oh, of course I did.
Yeah,
so,
throw out some terms.
So this is actually really great. And I don't think you can show transcripts on social media, but the first line out of my mouth was, or they asked me the question, they're like, how did you prepare for this deposition? And I was like, I watched Aaron Brockovich and I had a glass of wine last night.
Perfect.
And like, I got like one laugh out of the room and they're like, seriously, how did you prepare? And I was like, I met with my lawyer for 15 minutes. But it was like, oh yeah, I prepared for sure.
Well, and you weren't probably lying about the other part, right? You did actually watch Aaron Brockovich. You did actually have a glass of wine.
No, there was nothing about that was a lie.
So technically they should have taken that answer.
They wrote it down. It's in the transcript.
There it is.
I want to see that transcript.
Yeah, it's in the transcript.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Okay, anyways.
But yeah, no, I really like going back to the whole people being negative. I think ever since COVID hit, like people try to find a reason to be negative about damn near everything. And I'm just like, dude, at the end of the day, you have the power to decide. We're recording this podcast in January 2025. You have the power, if you are listening to this right now, to make sure that you have a damn good 2025. If you don't, and again, I'm not saying you're not going to have shitty moments in 2025. You will. We're human. You're always going to have those moments where you get kicked in the teeth. It feels like a razor scooter just hit you in the shin. I get it. But like, you have the power to make sure that 2025 in overall is a good year. Yeah. And that's just by putting like the right foot forward every single day, by going into it with the right mindset, by when you do have something shitty happen to you, finding a way to laugh about it, finding a way to find the silver lining, finding a way to just move past it as quickly as you can. Because again, life is always going to throw you those moments where you just feel like you got punched in the face. And it's like, dude, again, you know, you're never going to have a year where it's just like, you know, cotton candy and butterflies. You know what I mean? Like, you just got to find a way to find the positive. And if you do that, you are going to continue to have great year after great year after great year, with moments during those years that are character building, that are strength building, that are just like resilience building. Like, and that's the way that you got to look at it, is like every challenge becomes that much easier once you overcame the last one. So change your perspective on it and just kind of go, hey, Like, I'm going to get through this. I'm going to make sure this year's a damn good year. And then, you know what? Like, you'll look back and be like, you know what? Overall, great year.
Yeah.
If you ask yourself, did I have a bad day or a bad 5 minutes? Did I have a bad month or a bad day in that month? Be honest with yourself.
Yeah. I will say it is like, for me last year, like I said, I went through a lot. There was like, it felt like it was just like one thing after the other. I couldn't catch a break. So like, I will say there are times where it is hard to kind of break out of that spiral, because you're just like, why is all this crap happening to me? Why me? Like that victim mentality. And it's really hard to break out of that. Really, really tough. But like, you just kind of have to. Like, I don't even know how else to explain it. Like, you have to pick yourself back up. You have to like say like, okay, like today, from now on, like I'm done. Like, I'm not the victim anymore. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be the person that complains. I don't want to play the victim mentality anymore. I want my life to be better. And the only person that's going to change that is me, and I have to do it. No one's coming to save me. So
yeah, you don't have like a momager that's like telling you what to do. You're it.
Yeah. And again, learn to laugh. You know, you just, it's one of those things. I mean, I remember like it was yesterday, literally sitting on a bench in Venice, California, and after I was having one of the worst weeks of my life, and I'm sitting there eating a slice of pizza, and I think I even spilled some of the pizza on my pants. And I remember just being like, yo, it really, like, I don't know. It would be hard for it to get worse. Like, I would have to have, like, a car hit me at this point. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And you just start to laugh. And it's like, all right, like, if I can survive this, I'll move forward. And as long as, like, you know, there's actually, you know, I'm a diehard Detroit Lions fan. You know, one of the Detroit Lions guys said, you can't bury what comes from the dirt. And it's like, and that's the way I look at it. It's like, you know, you got to have that. I don't
really understand what that means, but
you got to have that, like, I'm coming from the mud mentality. You know, I don't know.
Explain why that makes sense to me?
Because if something's already dead,
like if I'm already that low, you can't bury me. Like I'm gonna come out of it. You know what I mean? Like, okay.
Did you like it because it came from a lion, or did you like it because of what it meant? Do you understand what it means?
I repeated it probably 50 times after I heard it, and there was another Detroit Lion that said, "Everybody wants to be a dog till it's time to do dog shit." And
I like that. I like that. Woof, woof.
So when Detroit Lions were playing last week, and then they sadly lost, I just kept running around the bar when we were playing well. I was like, everybody wants to be a dog till it's time to do dog shit.
Oh, I heard you were really embarrassing.
Yeah, it was tough. I
heard people hated being there with you.
Oh, that's crazy.
No.
I heard that you embarrassed yourself.
Okay. It's crazy. We said we weren't going to tell lies. That's crazy.
I'm going to pee my pants.
Yeah, I hope.
No. I'm going to pee my pants.
I hope you do. You know what you deserve.
Before we go into the next prompts, just so you know.
You really have to pee right now?
I'm on the brink of peeing my pants.
Okay, go pee.
Well, are we about to do the next prompt?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Okay,
intermission.
All right, Anna's going to go pee. Cue music. All right, Anna's back from her
I took a look
break.
in the mirror after I had peed.
Yeah.
And I really do look like a man you would see in the middle of nowhere at a convenience store.
Yeah, kind of.
You know, like
very specific.
A guy buying bait or something.
Yeah, but you don't smell like cigarettes, you know?
That's true. I've never smoked a cigarette.
Proud of you.
Me neither.
Me neither.
What? High five? A room of 3?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
I've never smoked anything.
I don't do cigs.
Never smoked anything. Well, actually, I hit a vape one time when I was real drunk, and then I coughed for I couldn't get to the flavor because I'd had a lung attack for the next 5 minutes, and I hated every bit of it. Never did that
so
again.
Bad.
Yeah, I was like, let me see what these kids are up to.
And you're like, how do you get addicted to this?
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's a tough addiction to beat.
All right.
So I hear.
We got a nice fun one up next. We got the next gold, silver, bronze medal question. 3 best ways to get over a breakup. Emma, what's your gold medal answer?
No contact.
You
can't talk. You can't speak for. I mean, there's a lot of it's so frustrating. Like on Instagram, I see it all the time. Like, no contact for 30 days. We'll get your ex back and all this stuff. And I'm like, that's not what it's for. It's for you to detox from being with this person, like however long you were with them. Like if you were with them for a long time, like it's like your nervous system is detoxing them, and it's very, very difficult to do that. And I know it's like one of the hardest things, but if you can do it, like it's probably the easiest or the quickest way to like, because if you're texting them, even if you're texting like a happy birthday or something, like at least for somebody like me, no contact is going to be the best thing. I think some people are able to somehow stay in contact with their ex and like be okay with that. But like, I can't, I don't want to see what you're doing on Instagram. I don't want to see any of it. I just want to pretend like you don't exist.
Are you blocking them on Instagram?
I block them for me because I know myself, and I know that, you know, if they're tagged in something, like I'll click on their profile and like I will probably I'll see their follower count go up or whatever it is, and like I just know that my brain like cannot resist it, so I just remove the temptation by blocking them.
Fair.
Ooh, okay. So can I do my silver because it goes right into what you just said?
Okay, we're skipping silver. Cool.
Oh wait, gold.
Yeah.
I'm going to my gold. Okay. Okay, I'm going to read this because there's a quote involved and I don't want to get it wrong.
Go for it.
Okay, so my gold was stop dissecting things and get out of your head. And in the book Anxiety RX by Dr. Russell Kennedy, he says, we cease to be able to see our anxious thoughts as simply thoughts. We imagine a scary story and then frighten ourselves by forgetting that we are the ones that made up that story in the first place. And I feel like whenever we create these scenarios in our head, we never give anyone the benefit of the doubt. It's the worst case scenario every single time. And then we forget that we just made ourselves sick over the story that we created.
Yep.
And like, if I could win a gold medal in anything, it would be dissecting. And then I often will dissect for so long that I have made myself the villain in the scenario, which is why I will stay and forgive too long. So if you stay out of dissection, then you will often move on quicker.
Ooh, I like that because you're basically saying instead of dissecting why the breakup happened, just accept it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's like, because honestly, why does it matter? It's done.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it is
no
tough
point in
for
dwelling.
people like me. Like I'm like very like anxious. I'm like the overthinker. And it was funny. It's funny. Like my last breakup, like I felt like I was good. I was good for like a while, and then it all kind of hit me like later, and I was like, why am I still doing this? Why am I still overthinking this? Like why? Like I couldn't figure it out, and it was because I wasn't able to accept that it happened. Like I just wasn't accepting it. It was like the weirdest thing. I was like, if I could, like, I was wish that things had gone differently or whatever it was. And I was just like, if I can just, it happened. Like, that's it. There's no changing it. There's no going back. There's no changing anything that happened. Just accept that it happened. This is my reality. This is the reality I'm living in right now. I can't change it. So what can I control? I can control myself and what I do. And that's it.
How long after the breakup do you feel like that hit you?
Well, it's kind of tough for me because like I was going through a lot last year, so it wasn't just the breakup, but like it was like 5-6 months after. Like I grieved in the beginning, and then like I got better, and then like 5-6 months later, like it just kind of all came back again, and I didn't know why.
I feel like that's because I mean, obviously I don't know you that well, but I feel like when you go through an initial breakup, our ego is the thing that we focus on the most. And it's kind of that thing of like, they're going to think about me every single day. They're never going to find another person like me. Like it's so ego focused that it has nothing to do with actually any love or emotions or anything you actually miss about them. Yeah. But then 6 months hits and you're like, I really miss the way this person did X, Y, and Z. And it has nothing to do with how they made you feel about yourself or didn't make you feel about yourself.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's when and that kind of in a way is aligned with like the end of a honeymoon phase where a lot of people mourn that honeymoon phase disappearing, but when in reality, that is when the real relationship actually starts.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like you stop seeing things through ego. You stop seeing things through like how they made you feel, and you see things for reality.
I think for me, if I'm trying to analyze it, I think what it was is like for those first 6 months, I was like maybe thinking like, oh, like, are we going to get back together? Are we going to try again? And then once that 5-6, however long it was hit, I was like,
oh, this is real.
Yeah, actually, maybe we're not going to do that. And then it was just like, well, why didn't it work? And all of those things kind of hit me a little bit later, I think.
Can I ask who ended the relationship?
I did.
You did. Okay. Did you think that characteristics would change or that they would learn a lesson in that time?
I didn't do it for that reason. I think I had hoped that. I always see the best in people. You think somebody can become the person. I think maybe I was projecting a little bit of the person that I wanted. I wasn't accepting who he was. I was just like, I feel like you can be this
potential
guy. Yeah, dating potential. And then obviously it didn't pan out that way. So yeah, I ended it, and like I knew it was the right decision. But yeah, it was frustrating because I ended it, and like then I was like 6 months later, I was like, oh, still kind of iffy about it. But
no, I get that. I feel like that's such a stereotypical like male versus female move, because I feel like women stereotypically break up with the boyfriend a while before they actually do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like they've come to terms with it. They almost have closure while they're still dating that person, whereas men will do that later.
Yeah.
Where like that breakup really hits them 6 months after it has occurred. So I think that's interesting hearing that from a girl's perspective.
Yeah, again, I am usually on the opposite end of the spectrum. Like I've always been broken up with. I've never broken up with anybody. So it was a very different experience for me too. And it was like when I broke up with him, like I felt like the ball was in my court to get back together or something. Whereas usually like the ball's in their court because they broke up with me. So it's like, are they going to come back? And then for me, after we broke up, it was like, well, why would he come back? I broke up with him. It was this whole thing. But
No, I get that.
But it was a very different experience for me. And like, we also like, it was tough for a lot of reasons. We share a lot of the same friends. We live in the same building and moving out in May.
Good.
Thank God.
Good.
But yeah, I think there were a lot of things that made it very difficult for me. But you know, it's life.
Yeah, that is life.
That is life.
You want to share your gold?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think best way to get over a breakup is you got to take that first day or two. I'll give you 2 days to bitch about it, yell about it, complain about it, rant about it. Do whatever you got to do. Rant to different people. Just bitch as much as you possibly can. Just get it out of your system and then go do something. Like go do something. Go fly somewhere. Go take a class that you've never done. Like go to a restaurant that you've always wanted to go to. Like go do something to get your mind off of shit. But like take your first day or two. Get all the bitching that you can possibly get out of your system. You know, if you feel the need to talk some shit, whatever, get it out of your system. Like get it all out. And then go do something. Go, go travel somewhere. Just get your mind off things. And I think once you do that, and once you've done kind of all the bitching and everything like that, I think you then kind of realize, like, all right, yeah, I deserve better than that. Like, I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be good. And then there's and there's better out there. And then the next step is like going and doing things to show yourself that there's better out there in terms of like better experiences for yourself. Like if you're traveling somewhere new or going to that new restaurant or things like that, like you can find happiness again, and it's not always going to be just in an individual. Sometimes it's going to be an experience and things like that. But if you have that friend you haven't seen in a minute, go travel and go fly out to them, go have a good time, go, and say to them like, hey, I've already got my bitching out of the way. So I can, if they're part of your bitch process, then call them up, bitch about the partner, and then go fly out and go enjoy a few days and not even talk about it. You know what I mean? Get your mind off things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Amen.
Yeah.
Good.
There it is.
All right.
Wait, I was going to say something. So I feel like all of our perspectives, right, are from the side of the breakup where like, I'm not perfect. No one's perfect. Okay. But like, it sounds like the breakup happened and we were not the problem. So if you went through a breakup and you're the one that fucked up, like, would you give the same advice?
I think if you're the one that fucked up, you need to take a lot of self-reflection. And you need to realize that the best thing that you can do is forever leave that person alone.
Okay.
And I would say, like, no matter what, if they ask for you back, the best thing that you could do is let that person go into a new relationship without baggage.
Okay.
And I think that it's a super, super selfish thing to fuck up a relationship and then think for some reason you deserve to get that relationship back. And so I would say take a lot of time, go to therapy, start reflecting often, start journaling, figure out your shit, do the work, and then in your next relationship, don't fuck it up. But like, don't try to get the person back, things like that. My God, own your own mistakes. And if you again, we're all human. Everybody makes mistakes. But if you do, the best thing that you can do is at least give that person the peace of mind of just knowing that you are gone out of their life. And you know what? Just be better moving forward. And like also tell your friends that you fucked up. To be honest with your friends. Don't make excuses for yourself. Be really honest.
Yeah.
I cheated. I lied. I deceived. I did this. Be really honest and tell them to hold you accountable.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Okay.
Yeah.
Next one.
I will say, by the way, I've done that. When I was in college, I can be transparent. I was 20 years old. I drank and drove. I got pulled over, and I did not get a DUI. And it was the luckiest moment of my entire life. And I said to my roommates afterwards, "You have to call me the felon for the next month." Okay? Like, you have to call me the felon because I know I screwed up. I majorly know I screwed up. It was the dumbest decision I've ever made in my life, and I should have been held responsible, and I wasn't. And like, I'm not going to take that lightly. And I punished myself. I was so mad at myself. I was so pissed. And then a month later, I got pulled over, dead sober. And when I was out that night, I was with a few friends and they were like, hey, just have a drink or two. Just have a, whatever. And I was like, no, I'm not doing it. Like, no, I'm driving you guys all home tonight. No, I'm not having a single anything, right? And that night, I got pulled over. They were like, you're drunk. I was like, no, I'm not. And I was like,
bad driver.
I was like, listen, I was listening to music, whatever. But she was like, okay, I'm going to put you through the whole sobriety test. Well, sobriety test is impossible to pass. It is meant for you to fail. So I failed it. Dead sober failed it. And, I'll tell you what, counting backwards, ABC is impossible.
Yeah, right.
You can't do that at any stage.
Yeah.
I've never
Who
been.
can?
I actually think that you might be on something if you are able to do that.
Yeah, true. That would
Like a
actually
limitless
be
pill or
yeah,
something.
insanely
Accidental
impressive. You're just
Yeah, a
built
little
different.
Adderall.
Yeah, but so I failed the sobriety test. She calls in for backup, and she's like, "By the way, you're 20 years old, and you're going to go to jail if you blow anything because you're underage." And I was like, "Well, joke's on you. I got nothing in the system, ma'am."
I would have
And
been excited.
Yeah, I was so
Why didn't
excited
they start with that, the breathalyzer?
because the breathalyzer technically is admissible in court if you only do that. So yeah, fun fact. But so I then blew in the breathalyzer, 0 zeros, and they were like, "All right, sir, you're good to go." And I asked them if I could keep the little thing that you blow into, and I think I still have it somewhere. But anyway, the whole point of telling the story is that I realized I screwed up, and then life tested me, and I showed I actually learned from it. So, and 12 years later, I can admit that story. It's still embarrassing to me to admit, but like, yeah, I learned my lesson.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, my silver is very personal, but I think that it covers all bases, whether that be a friendship breakup or a relationship breakup, whatever. And I'm going to look at my phone a little bit because this is something that I actually wrote to myself during a breakup that was really, really bad. But the whole thing is don't take the bait. Do not enter retaliation. Like, do not engage with retaliation. Do not fight back. Silence, in my opinion, is very, very, very obvious. Like when people are giving their sides, the person that remains silent, often I see that as like they're not the guilty party. They're just choosing inner peace. And this is something that I wrote in my phone during a time when a guy I'd been with for a very long time cheated on me and then basically ran his mouth to everyone that would listen about why I deserved basically to be dumped and not chosen, whatever.
Oh, wow.
And I wrote this in my phone at a time when I was having a really hard day. And because I have a very hard time with not being liked or people being given the full side of the story when I know that I did something right and the other person was wrong. Mm-hmm. So I wrote down, I am not cut from the same cloth as an individual that bases a human's character off of an ex's retaliation. And I just kept telling myself that anybody that hears an ex, whether that be a man or a woman, run their mouth and try to tear down someone's character and they believe it, then we are not cut from the same cloth and I don't care about their opinion of me anyways. Mm-hmm. So I always like to remind myself someone that is quick to believe is not someone that I'd be friends with anyways, especially when you consider motive. Mm-hmm. So I always used to tell myself to just stay kind, stay grounded, and they will eventually get bored with trying to make themselves look like the good guy. Yeah. Convince other people that you're the problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that a lot.
I think retaliation just like prolongs everything. It makes it really ugly and it's not necessary.
Yeah. And then you probably regret it later anyway, which doesn't make you feel any better.
Well, there was so many opportunities. Like we know this, or we've talked about this, where after I had like a public breakup and I was asked to go on like 3 different podcasts within a few weeks because my ex was publicly addressing our relationship in the comments. And he was saying things that were so just in ex fashion. Mm-hmm. And because he was so frightened that the truth would come out, and that was that he cheated. Mm-hmm. And he was trying to get ahead of the press kind of thing. And I just remained silent. And I think a lot of people saw his bold statements and his long statements as if we were in US Weekly. And they
Did you just call it US Weekly?
Yeah. Is it Us Weekly? Shit.
I wasn't going to correct her. You just let that slide.
Well, it just for a moment it fucked me up because I was like, wait, it is Us Weekly, right?
I believe it's Us Weekly.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Okay, Us Weekly.
Sorry.
I lost my train of thought, man.
Sorry.
Anyways.
He was addressing it like he was addressing Us Weekly.
And I think people with podcasts, fucking hell, people saw it and they were like, oh, there's 2 sides of the story. Let's get her on it. And I just remember thinking like, this would be so nice to be able to sit down with a mic, right the wrongs, tell my side of the story. But for what? You know, like it's like trying to compete in a fool's game is pointless because they're going to win every single time because they'll beat you with experience.
Well, you know the truth, so
Absolutely.
I feel like that's all you really need.
Absolutely. I know my truth.
Facts. Sorry for correcting you there.
U.S. Weekly is so embarrassing.
I
Start
also
calling it that.
It's like calling people, calling things like the Facebook or the Instagram.
Well, I also feel like though, like me correcting you there, like you're talking about how like an asshole ex is like saying blank with blank, and then I'm like, hey, by the way, Us Weekly. Actually, ma'am, it's Us Weekly. Let me mansplain this.
No, it's helpful. I could have been in an interview and embarrassed myself.
What
so
if we're both wrong? What if it is?
I was thinking that.
Yeah,
I was like,
what
maybe she's
100%
right.
Us
Yeah,
Weekly.
I was like trying to figure out how to Google that. Like, is Us Weekly or
Us Weekly.
or
Yeah.
U.S. It could be both things.
It could be.
That is the beauty of that
Yeah.
publisher.
All right. What's your
Publishment.
silver medal answer?
I think it ties kind of into it might have been your gold, but the focus on yourself. Again, like kind of going back to what I was saying earlier, like I think it's easy to get wrapped up in what they're doing and just worrying about them or thinking about them and, you know, whatever. But if you can bring the focus back to yourself and focus on what you can control, just focusing on yourself, getting yourself to a healthy place mentally, because obviously a breakup is pretty tough on your mental health. So I think focusing on yourself is, you know, it's a little cliche, but I do think it's helpful because I think it can be hard to do that, at least for somebody like me. I think other people, like there's, you know, two sides. There's like the anxious and the avoidant or whatever. And I think the avoidant is really good at focusing on themselves because that's what they do. But for the anxious people like me, like it's kind of hard to do that. So you really have to put in like a conscious effort every day to like choose to like not think about what they're doing. And I don't want to think about that. Like, what can I do in this moment? Yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah. Facts. My silver medal answer would, and I think this is a one that I don't really hear often, but I think it's important. It's actually something I realized probably in the last like year or so is reclaim old memories. And what I mean by that is if you just went through a breakup and you have all these places that you've gone to with your ex-partner, right? And it's like this favorite restaurant of yours, this favorite coffee shop, this one workout class that you guys used to take, yada, yada, yada. You have all these like old memories with this person, right? Go back to those places as quickly as you can and form new memories. Yeah. And I'm not saying it's going to be easy. The first time you go there, it might feel a little weird. You might feel a little anxious, whatever. But when you go there and you create new memories, go with your people that you love, that you know are going to be in your life forever, your best friends, your family, things like that. But reclaim those spots. Don't let that person continue to have power over you. And I think that's what a lot of people do is like they're then walking somewhere and they're like, I used to walk here with my, ex. And it's like, yeah, okay, true. But reclaim that, make a new memory there. And now you've got that new memory that you can also go back to the next time you have that thought. You can be like, yeah, but also, I also did this with this person here, right? And so I think it's really, really important to reclaim old memories and not let those continue to, have power over you.
I totally agree.
I think going through like a full year, like taking a full year to not maybe you don't need a year to process it, but kind of piggybacking off of that, going through all the holidays and making new memories on the holidays, because like all of the holidays are going to be tough for the first time. So making new memories on those holidays, make sure you don't like sit like by yourself on Valentine's Day or whatever it was, and like, have a good Valentine's Day so that the next time it's like, oh, last Valentine's Day I was with my friends or whatever it was. So yeah, I've been actually doing that quite a bit, is like going to like old places, and now every time I go, it's like the last time I was there was not the last time I was with my ex.
Right,
which
right.
is great.
Yeah,
That's
now
really
you got a new
nice.
memory there, and now you're taking that power back. It's all about taking the power back.
Yeah.
And now you don't have to be that annoying This is one of my pet peeves in a relationship, is when people are like, did you go here with your ex? And it's just like, why is this less special because I've been to this place with my ex-boyfriend?
Wait, who asked you that?
Other exes, like,
Oh.
and that's also like, that is a thing. I'm not stereotyping women or whatever. I have had so many girlfriends be like, I don't want to go to this hotel if he's been there with his ex.
I feel like
because a lot of people do end up avoiding places where memories were formed with exes. Mm-hmm. And what the mature thing is to revisit those places and make new memories. Yeah. And then they're not forever cemented in your brain as being associated with them.
Yeah. Now I will say this though. Amendment. If you, let's say you went to, Hawaii with your ex-girlfriend, right? And you guys stayed at the Sheraton. maybe if you go back to Maui, you don't stay at the Sheraton with your new girlfriend. Like maybe if you want to reclaim that old memory, like maybe you do that with family and friends and things like that. But like it would be tough if the person's like, oh well, you know this spot really well. Who'd you go with before? Oh, my ex. Like that would be tough. At least if you have maybe a little buffer, you went with your friends afterwards and things like that. You can be like, oh yeah, I was with my buddy, Bobby last month. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think you maybe for vacations you could switch it up.
There's a gray area.
You could go to the Marriott.
I've learned that. I'm guilty of this. I have done the same Airbnbs, let's say.
Airbnb? So you had sex in the same bed?
Whoa, we don't need to make premarital acts broadcasted on the podcast. I'm just saying, if you are a content creator and you get a collab with a beautiful home, and you're getting a free stay, I'm not going to take them to that free.
And then your new boyfriend's like, wait, so why don't you want to stay in the master bedroom?
I'm like,
just sleep on the couch, on the pull-out.
My ex threw me up against that wall.
Maybe I'm sick in the head, but I didn't even think about my ex-boyfriend in that house.
Good.
Oh, good.
It didn't even occur to me
so
that
you were
that
healed.
was
completely.
Right. That didn't even cross my mind.
Yeah. They're like, how come your phone automatically connects to the Wi-Fi here?
I know where all the utensils, all the plates are. I'm like, oh, extra sheets on the top left cabinet. Actually,
they actually keep condoms in the cabinet for you.
Oh, what? I left them from last time.
Shout out to our mothers who are going to listen to this episode.
No, my mom will be giggling. She'll think that's so funny.
My mom, I don't know how she feels about me talking about sex.
I'll have to do a phone call with her.
My mom does
eventually.
not know that I'm here.
Wait, did you give your silver medal or bronze medal?
Not bronze.
Or what are we on? Silver, bronze?
We're on bronze now.
Okay. Why don't you, Anna, give your bronze?
Okay, so my bronze it just ties into what I said before, is take your ego out of it. And I feel like when our confidence is shot, our ego ends up looking for validation in all the wrong places. It becomes this hunt. And then it starts a very unhealthy cycle of looking for validation to gain self-worth in all the incorrect places. So I think that's more just for you long term. I think ego-wise, for me at least, I am a very egotistical person while battling with low self-worth. So the two has been a very ugly, partnership. And I have to remind myself during breakups that, well, specifically one, because most have been on my end breaking up, but when I have been broken up with, I tell myself, this person had a firsthand look into what it was like to be with you. The great parts, you showed everything about yourself, and they still chose to leave. So why are you expecting them to now be away from you and comparing every other future love interest to you? Why would you think that they're going to miss all these good qualities when they had it firsthand and they said goodbye to it? Yeah. That's one of the hardest things to ever do to somebody, is say goodbye to them for good.
Yeah.
And so once you realize that they knew what they had and they left it, you just weren't right for each other. And it doesn't have to be this big thing. And like a lot of my relationships blew up because of something bad happening. But even if that bad thing hadn't happened, we had just broken up before that event had occurred, it would have been so valid because we were just not correct for each other. Mm-hmm. And that is a valid reason. And I think a lot of people wait for that big thing to blame it on that. It makes it easier to like get really angry. It's really hard.
That's what I said. I'm like, can't you just have done something really bad to piss me off? I had nothing to be like, I had a list. I had a list of little things, but
it's
it wasn't
not big enough to us.
Yeah.
It has to be like one of the three. You know, it's like all of a sudden it has to be one of the three crimes. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't have to be. You can just feel unseen, not listened to. You can just feel unappreciated. That's valid enough.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that you said that, because I kind of struggle with the same stuff. And I did kind of think for a bit. I was like, if I was so great, if I have all these great qualities, like why didn't you do literally would have been just the bare minimum? Like, why didn't you step up to like be a little bit better? I don't know, to like keep me or something. Like, why didn't you, if I was so great, why didn't you try harder? And like, that was like a tough thing for me to accept. Like, I understand like it had nothing to do with me. Like, I know that, but it's like my brain tells me otherwise somehow. And I like grapple with that sometimes.
But I do think that is like a first step to self-love, when you realize that you were so great. Why didn't they treat me better? There you have it. Like, that in itself is confidence. You were able to recognize that you were something to be like a prize. You were something to be valued. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people, Let me collect myself. I lost my train of thought.
You're good.
I get emotional during this topic because this has been the core thing of my entire being, is like waiting for somebody to tell me that I'm special so I can believe it.
I know,
you know, and it's like, you're going to have to, at the end of the day, you're going to have to be the one that determines that.
Yeah.
And like, I need backup to like reaffirm that that's correct, because who is to say, like, you know, who is to say? But at the end of the day, it is your life, and you're the only one that's going to have you. You're all you have at the end of the day. It is the most important opinion that one could have, is the one you have of your own, of yourself.
Yeah, I agree. That's something I'm working on myself, is to like I know, like in my conscious brain, like I know I saw what I had to offer. Like I know I have a lot to offer. Like again, like nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect, but like I know that I can be a really good partner. But yeah, I feel like I need that kind of like extra, like, I don't know if it's validation, but like I need the confirmation from outside. And I'm working on that to kind of pull it from within myself. But it's hard to do, I think, for me at least.
Are you a words of affirmation girl?
It's number 3 on my list.
Okay.
Physical touch and quality time.
Okay.
And words of affirmation.
Okay. I was going to say, I feel like a lot of that personality, like, because I just looping us together in that way, look for words of affirmation.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like the gold star. Because I was explaining this to my boyfriend the other day. Everything about our relationship points to it being very appreciated, very healthy. We love each other. Everything's good across the board. But when I am feeling when I'm my most unhealthy, I need to hear that I'm doing a good job. And I was trying to explain to him, I'm like, okay, I know you make me feel appreciated. You make me feel loved, but like, I want to know why. Can you tell me, do you think
Just
I'm funny?
Yeah.
Like, and he's like, you should know that. I'm like,
yeah, but I don't. You have to say it.
You have to walk me through sometimes all the reasons in which I'm appreciated for me to see it in myself. And it's something I work so hard, but like, I'm not one of those people that just knows those things. And I'm so jealous of people that just know that about themselves. And so I require a little bit of that in a relationship.
Yeah, I need a little bit I definitely need reassurance. And if that ties into words of affirmation, then I think it does
very much.
Yeah, like just if it's not too much, right? Like for, you know, people I've been with in the past, it was just too much for them to kind of like say it out loud, like why, you know, why they like me or why they're with me or why they think I'm great. It just, it didn't come naturally to them. And even if I would ask them, like it was still hard for them to do. And I was like, okay, well, that doesn't make me feel any better. I'd rather not be with you at all and not have like anybody, like I'd rather have nobody tell me nothing than somebody be able to tell me nothing. Like you can't come up with one thing.
It's like being alone when you're alone versus feeling lonely when you're with somebody. It's like I'd rather just not have somebody see all the things that I offer and not still be capable of telling me, because I don't know if you're like this, but like all the things that I love about someone are on the tip of my tongue. And I know that is considered a strength. A lot of people can't put things into words, what they appreciate or love about somebody. But it's so easy for me to volunteer all the things I love about someone. So when that's not reciprocated, I can't help but question, maybe I could just be anyone. Maybe I just make you feel good about yourself. Maybe it doesn't have to do with me.
Right. And I have learned that like people don't always give love and receive love in the same way. And I've come to learn that. And like a quote that I always kind of, for friendships and for relationships, I like to live by is, you can't expect yourself out of other people. Yeah. And I do a lot of the time, and I have to keep myself in check with that a lot. Cause like if I like do something big for somebody or something, I don't expect like the same thing back, but like I kind of expect it to like even out or something like that. Or if I can't give it like a specific example, but yeah, like the things that I would do for you are not necessarily the same things that you would do for me. And that's hard for me to accept because I give a lot. I have a lot of love to give. And when I feel like it's not reciprocated, it is very hurtful to me.
It's loud. The lack of reciprocation is very loud.
Yeah.
I'll say this though. I was thinking about this while you guys were talking about this. That you
guys wouldn't shut up.
No, that was great. That was great. I think a lot of times you see it with athletes often where these guys go into the NBA, the NFL, the MLB, whatever, and they have this incredible opportunity in front of them, right? They are one of the most one of the coolest positions possible. They're paid to play a sport that everybody would love to play, right? And they're paid an incredible amount of money, and they have incredible opportunities, and they have all these different things. And every year you see guys fuck it up, right? You see guys who get arrested for X, Y, and Z. You see guys who are late to meetings and get released as a result. You see guys who don't train as hard as they could and things like that. And so the reality of it is some people can have the opportunity in front of them and still not realize how great it is, right? So that's why I'm saying, like, when it comes to relationships and things like that, you can say to yourself, I'm this amazing person. I offer these amazing things. I'm a great catch. Why doesn't this person realize it? Well, there's always going to be people in the world who don't realize the things that are directly in front of them, right? And so it's not a you issue. That's a them issue, right? And I think that's the way that you have to program yourself to, like, think about that, is that as long as you are working on yourself every day to be the best version of yourself humanly possible, then everybody else around you should see that. The people that don't see it, they're blind, and you can't help a blind person see. You know, it is what it is, right? And so I think about that often when it comes to sports, because that's always the number one thing. Anytime you see a guy get arrested for such and such, now he's out of the league, you know, people are always saying, well, how didn't he realize, you know, what an idiot. He screwed up the greatest thing. And it's like, yeah, and that person, for whatever reason, was not able to realize the great thing in front of them, because if they did, they never would have fucked it up, right? And so, again, that's not a you issue, that's them. You can be the greatest person in the world to all the people around you. There's still going to be people who don't realize what's in front of them. And again, that's their loss. That's not your loss. That is absolutely their loss. And why would you want to be with somebody who doesn't recognize the greatness in front of them?
Yeah. I've tried to learn to take things not personally. I know that that's like a huge, everyone says, oh, it's not personal, but I don't know why that's so hard for me.
Oh.
Like, it's got to be about me. Like, everything's about me, right?
If it's
I'm an only
negative,
child. Right.
I'm an only child too. There you go.
All right.
If it's negative, it is about you. If it's positive, I had nothing to do with it.
Of course not.
It's like reverse narcissism.
Yeah,
almost.
it's
like,
crazy.
I'll take the blame every day.
It's so frustrating.
What's your birthday?
May 24.
May 11.
Are you a Gemini?
No, I'm a Taurus.
Oh, okay.
You were born late. You should have been a Taurus.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I used to decide that. I'm like, only child, you're a Taurus for sure.
Yeah.
What? Who's got something left? I have my bronze medal.
I'm done.
You're done. You have your bronze medal.
I haven't shut up yet.
I have one. It's a quick one.
What's yours?
Go to the gym.
Go to the gym.
Go to the gym. Get like, that's like the biggest thing you can do. You'll feel better mentally. You'll look better physically, you know, after some time. I don't even know. Maybe I should put that as like gold or silver, because that's huge, at least for me. And I think it would be true for anybody.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I actually have that in my bronze medal answer too, is that I said, and I think I've said this on podcasts before, but you got to remind yourself who the fuck you are. You just went through a breakup. You're feeling low. You got to remind yourself who the fuck you are. Mm-hmm. Go to the gym, go get yourself a fire outfit, go, buy yourself something nice, go to that restaurant that you want to check out, go do things that you've always wanted to do, and like surround yourself with people who make you feel good about yourself. But like, you have to discover your self-confidence as quickly as you can and like get that back. So whatever you need to do, go do that fire photo shoot. Go do that one, thing that you've been nervous about, skydiving or something crazy. Go take a surfing lesson. Go do something that you've like wanted to do. Go do a random stand-up comedy thing. I don't know. Like go to karaoke and go sing your heart out. Like go do something that just reminds you who the fuck you are. You are fun. You are great. You are awesome. Like go remind yourself of that and keep trying different shit until you figure it out. But like, you
probably forgot when you were in the relationship. Or or right when you got out, maybe you forget how great you are.
Yeah.
I want to see Mark pick out a fire outfit after a breakup.
Me too.
Like, what's your fire fit? Like,
I want to see the fire
Mark's
fit.
in the beer and he's like, I'm back.
I'm back.
I'm back, bitches.
For me, I feel like, okay, when you go and actually,
I get what you're saying. I just think it's hilarious from a man's perspective.
No, I went to oh my God, what's that store called? It's some real bougie shit.
Ted Baker. You love some.
It's Ted Baker-esque. It's Ted Baker-esque. But there was a.
What is that brand that you love? I love the coat.
Well, I have. So I have an All Saints jacket. That's what it is.
All Saints.
So I have this long trench coat. Yeah, long coat. That's from All Saints, and it's like, I have to say the price because this is more money than I've ever spent on any clothing item and ever will come close to spending. It was $800, and I was like, that is an expensive ass jacket or expensive ass coat. What does it go from?
It's a coat.
Jacket to coat.
I think coat
the
is
length?
like bigger.
Length? Yeah, feels like a coat.
It's a coat.
Yeah. Anywho, but I went and bought this All Saints coat, and And every time I wear it, I get compliments, right? And so it's like, it's something that, if I want to if I go out to a nice restaurant, I throw that on, I'm getting a compliment. Valentine's Day, I'll probably rock that.
Oh, fuck yeah.
It's,
you look like such a bad bitch.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But then, I guess another thing would be going and getting a, activewear outfit, going to the gym and then looking in the mirror afterwards damn, son, you count
they
those?
Don't know what they're missing.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that 7? Is that 8? Oh, the boy's abs looking nice.
Rolls or
that too.
Oh,
please. These are abdomens.
You didn't tell me what you were counting.
Oh, I'm counting the inches of my
hair on your head.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4.
The amount of grays that I've gained.
We keep each other humble.
We do. So that's where we wrap it up.
We're done.
Yeah.
You're done.
Yep.
You're safe.
Yeah. How do you feel?
Good. I think a little more relaxed after my glass of wine.
Yeah.
Is that what you expected?
I didn't expect to be as nervous. I was nervous in the beginning.
I think it's like public speaking.
Yeah.
It's the pressure.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I feel better about it now. I need to practice this public speaking. So I need to figure out more ways to do that.
You should just go give random speeches.
Oh, break into schools.
In the streets?
break into schools, and just talk to the classroom. Oh. They don't know. Just walk in and be like, hey, I'm here for the sex ed presentation.
Sex ed?
I don't know. I'm giving
Why would you want to do that?
Well, because how many I would love that. How many outside speakers come into a classroom for more than one reason? It's
real quick,
ed.
Anna, what's your if you're giving the 30-second birds and the bees speech to your future son or daughter, if you have kids, what would you go with? Seeing as you want to give the sex ed speech.
See, I'm going to be so straightforward. I'm going to be like, look, kid, I don't want to be here either. I don't want to be doing any of this.
Look, kid.
It's not for me. Go talk to your dad.
I'm going to be like, eyes up here. We're dialed in because we're going to make this short and sweet. This is what happens.
Is this your son or daughter?
Both.
Okay. All right.
Both.
All right. Keep going.
Yeah. I don't even know what age they're going to be, but I'm going to be like, look, this is what's happening. So a guy, this is his stuff, and maybe it's another guy, or maybe it's a girl and it's another girl. I'm going to give them all the different possibilities depending on the gender and their choice.
Are you
sexuality.
using fingers? Are you using this? Are you using this?
I'm a
Are you using this?
animated speaker,
okay.
So chances are I will end up with shapes with my hand.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be like, this sucks for me as much as it sucks for you. And then afterwards, I'll give him a cookie. I don't know, but it's just like that.
Let's just go get ice cream.
Let's just decompress. I'll take a shot, beforehand, and it'll be fine. But I'm going to be very straightforward. There's going to be no mincing of words. I'm not going to say when mommy and daddy love each other. No, sometimes they just met. They barely like each other. Sometimes they don't even like each other.
Sometimes you need to get laid.
Honestly, sometimes it's better when you hate each other. I don't know what to tell you. When they don't respect you. Sometimes it's great. I don't know what to say. I'm going to be very honest and straightforward.
Oh, I see no problems with that. That can't go wrong at all.
My kid's going to be so healthy. They're going to have a great sense of humor, though.
And then you're going to send your kid to Uncle Mark, and he's going to give the better speech. All right, we're going to teach about...
No, you'll make it too loving and kind.
And we're going to teach about respect. We're going to teach about consent. Okay?
Nitty gritty, baby. Nitty gritty.
We're going to teach about, making love, not fucking.
Oh, no, he calls it making love.
Every time?
No, not...
Yeah, every time.
Hey, babe, you want to go make love?
Mark's a romantic.
Love that for him.
Yeah, to his core.
Want to fuck? That's just so aggressive.
It's great.
Yeah, and then you said it guttural. Is that your boy voice? Is that your man voice, Mark?
Hey, babe.
Hey.
Want to...
Okay, so
my mom listens to this. This is so tragic.
This was such a good episode.
Yeah, Mom, sorry. Love you.
Yikes.
Yeah, I love you.
It's my parents' anniversary today.
Oh, cute.
Year 38?
Yeah.
Very
38
nice.
years.
I saw the story, so I know.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't just keep track of that.
I texted them, convicted murderers do less time normally.
That's good.
That is
Happy
very
anniversary.
true.
That's
It's
the running. We have two running jokes in my family. Anytime anybody's anniversary it is, they say, you go, oh, 25th anniversary. Most convicted murderers do less time. And then the second joke, which I just gave, but the second joke is 25 years feels like 25 minutes underwater.
That's
Yeah.
That's good.
They're lame, but
dad jokes.
they hit every time.
I
in our
feel like
family
you're
group
going to be
chat.
the guy with dad
Do
jokes.
they laugh?
For sure.
You guys laugh at it still?
Yeah, it still hits.
Still
You
fun.
guys are so Midwest.
Still hits. It's a knee
Yeah.
That's
slapper.
how you know.
It's a knee slapper.
Knee slapper.
My parents would never tolerate such bad quality humor.
Okay. Well, you know what, Anna? We're ending this podcast. Appreciate you guys tuning in.
Yeah, thank you for listening. I know it was painful.
We'll talk to you guys later.
Love you.
See you guys.
Bye.